Welcome to Charts Today. My name's David Linton, and today's edition for Monday, the 7th of June, comes to you from London. And quite a bit of red on the screen this morning, so we'll take a look by starting with the dollar. As the dollar index, the weekly, daily, and 60-minute cloud charts, my long-term, medium-term, and short-term view with the corresponding point and figure charts. And so at the moment, the dollar is actually just recovering a little bit. We did see a fall away on Friday. But it is starting to just trend up short term. The big question is, can we put in a higher low here and then a higher high? We still do have these downside targets hanging over us though. So long term the dollar is bearish, medium term still bearish, but holding that low that we saw in January, that's the main thing. And short term we're bullish this week. Looking at the euro, seeing a 121.51, the inverse picture here of what we just talked about in the dollar. Short term, we're bearish. Sterling sitting at 141.23. That stronger dollar just having a little bit of an impact there, but longer and medium term. Sterling still looking like hitting the 146, 147 level, 150 even, looking quite likely. Against the euro, we're sitting at 116.18. Trend is still up on all three time frames, so sterling still has the upper hand. Looking at Bitcoin this morning, we're sitting at $36,000. We're pretty static at this level the last couple of weeks. We see here the weekly candles. We've just settled this level. We are still short-term bearish. The big question is, can we turn around and run again? Looking at the S&P 500 index, we're up on Friday. Still bullish on all three time frames here. Just struggling the last several weeks to break and run to new highs. So it will be interesting to see how we go this week. And again, the Nasdaq also just struggling to break that April high. The futures suggest we will be slightly down today. The E-mini is down, the S&P down 0.18%, the Nasdaq E-mini down just over 1/3%. We did see quite a sharp rise here on Friday, but again just falling away today. The VIX volatility sitting steady at 17. FTSE future is up 0.25%. The cash market in Germany is down slightly, as is the CAC 40. And Japan was just up slightly. The Hang Seng was down just under 0.5%. Shanghai up 0.2%. And if we look at India, that's up just under 0.4%. So just starting to nudge new highs despite the virus concerns still raging there. The Aussie market down slightly, but holding that new high. That's significant, and we need to keep an eye on it. We'll take a look at crude oil in a minute. The soft commodities looking quite strong again this morning. Wheat up 1.2%. Corn up 1.65%. So looking very strong, finding cloud support there. Gold sitting at 18.82, just struggling short-term bearish there. And silver also just short-term bearish. So precious metals not having a strong start to the week. US 10-year yield sitting at 1.58%, dived on Friday. So we are just seeing short-term bearishness just creeping in here. But the medium and long-term charts are still bullish above the cloud. Could go either way, but we still would favour the upside with the trend on the long-term situation. And the Bund, the German future, is sitting just on the 170 level, which is the critical level for bond markets. Looking at the energy mix now, we've got Brent crude down slightly today, just struggling at the $72 mark, but we are still bullish. We've got upside targets. We do have a new downside target, but we'd have to move below 71.20 to activate that. So for the moment, we're looking okay. And the same with WTI, still holding its bullish trend. US nat gas, a slightly harder call, holding above the $3 level, just teetering with the cloud here, but we do have upside targets. Coal is still holding on to its trend, and of course the big one last week was emissions. We did actually break out of this triangle pattern lower. It's now looking like in a descending triangle. We need to make sure we hold this 49 level on emissions. That's going to be quite critical. Gas markets are up 1.3 this morning on MBP, and on TTF up 1.3% as well. Still waiting for a break here, so that's going to be quite key. German power is actually up 0.72%, looking better than the emissions chart. But again, we're just waiting for direction there, and that chart looking very similar. The only change on our calls this week really was Nordic Power where we were bullish last week, and we're just saying we were bullish last week. We've just gone to neutral. We're back to support there. So just a little bit less clear picture, but we do have an upside target activated. So for the moment, we are favouring the upside. That's it for today. Until tomorrow, happy charting. See you then.